Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome back to another DCO Live. Hope you guys are doing well. See, I saw Brian is on. Steve's on. How you doing, buddy? Heath, you're on. Who else was on here? Tony, how you doing? Sorry about that, guys. I had to scroll back up to kind of try to catch everybody, but hope everybody's doing well. So there's I actually had, some notes. Obviously you guys can't see them, but I've got some notes. Hey, Russell just jumped on. Hey, buddy. So there is a topic that has really kind of blown up on the internet here the last couple of days, and that is the Bass Pro Shops buying Hobie. I saw the Chad Hoover video. And if you guys don't know about this, basically the story is out there that Bass Pro has bought Hobie. Now, is it the entire company of Hobie? Because Hobie just isn't, the kayak fishing kayaks. There's, they have sailing and they have other things, accessories and clothing lines and things like that. I don't know if it was the entire thing or not. When I heard the news, I started to dive in and jumped onto the internet to see if I could find the press release. I can't find the press release. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but I can't find it. Every time that I go to try to find it, I keep getting pushed towards this message board called tigerdroppings.com, which is a sports forum for LSU sports. Okay. And it's basically saying that, yes, Hobie has been bought out by Bass Pro. Well, I can't find an official statement from Bass Pro. Either it just hasn't come out yet, and this is all speculation. Maybe Chad has some, inside knowledge with him being, I think he's with Bonafide, I believe is the kayaks that he is with. All of those manufacturers, they get the inside knowledge of, big buyouts and acquisitions like this. So, I don't know anything about it, but if you guys haven't heard or seen the statement that Chad Hoover put out, what I'm going to do is I am going to play the first 30 seconds of his video. If you want to see it, just go over to YouTube, search Chad Hoover, and go down. It's either the first or second video as it pops up. Now, you guys won't be able to see it, but you should be able to hear it. So I'm just going to play the first 30 seconds and just kind of let you hear for yourself what Chad Hoover has to say. So let me know if you guys hear it or not. Just put a thumbs up in the comments. All right. Well, it sounds like you guys can't hear it. Okay. So basically, it was Chad just, reiterating, or I was reiterating what Chad was saying. So go over to Chad Hoover's site and give the video a watch. One of the things he says is, hey, if you've been living under a rock in the last 24 to 48 hours, you've probably heard this, where I guess I'm living under a rock. And thank you for that, Chad. But it's not out there. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys heard it? What news have you guys heard? Um, you know, uh, because I don't know anything about it. And again, that doesn't mean anything. I'm not the end all be all. I'm not an insider on this stuff. I'm trying to, pick up information on the back end of this. But, I do know that Hobie in the last several years has been in some financial trouble. A year or so ago, they dropped their bass trail, their fishing trail, the Hobie, I forget what it was called, Hobie Bass Open or something like that. They dropped out and they stopped sponsoring that, and that trail went away. I knew that they were having some financial problems then. You always heard about warranty issues with the hulls. I know they were having a lot of hull cracks in the manufacturing process, especially along the seams inside the scupper holes. I know they were having, a lot of issues with that. I know they were having some issues with their drives breaking, the 360s and the 180s. I don't know if that, put them in a tailspin financially or not because of all the warranty issues. Because even when those things are getting repaired, that's constantly costing them money on the back end. So, I don't know. If any of you guys are Hobie owners, I don't know if you guys have heard anything or not, but, if Bass Pro does buy Hobie, I don't know what this is going to do for the brand. A lot of times, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but a lot of times when these big companies buy these smaller companies, they want it for the name. Basically, they're buying the Hobie name. And then whatever they want to do with the kayaks is up to them now. If they want to continue to make, that high product that Hobie was known for, they can really do that and have a Cadillac in their line. I know that Bass Pro already has their Ascend kayaks, which is a good kayak. My dad actually has one. He has the 13-footer and loves it. It's got the trolling motor and everything, and he absolutely loves it. So with them buying the Hobie brand, are they going to take their drives, their fin drives, the Mirages, and start to adapt them to the Ascend? I don't know. They can pretty much do, if they bought the company, they can pretty much do whatever they want with it. I hope that they keep it, what Hobie was, or brings it back, because now they can fix the manufacturing issues that they were having, the warranty issues, because of the money that they can put into it. So, I hope it's going to be a good thing. I really do. Only time is going to tell. And again, I haven't seen an official press release. If you guys have, let me know so that I can go and read it. Send me a link or tell me where you found it. I went to the Bass Pro sites. I went all over the sites. I can't find anything. Again, I'm kind of out in the open here, and the only thing that I can see is Chad Hoover has put out the statement. So again, I don't know. I don't have anything against Chad. He's just putting out a statement. And so, you guys have to make up your own mind. Again, I haven't seen the press release. So I wanted to bring that up. It wasn't on the rundown in the document, but there's a lot of guys here on the chat box here that says, he said, I watched Chad's video. Hang on, let me pop it up. He said, I watched Chad's video, and the guy named Alex in Florida on YouTube that does a lot of reviews did a big video on it last week. Okay. I'll need to definitely, but I don't know who Alex is. And then United by Water said, yeah, I heard it from Alex first. Couldn't find anything online about it. So Heath or United by Water, if you guys can send me that link so I can see it, I may even reach out to Alex and find out where he's getting his information, so that I can just run it down and then bring it back to you guys. And then Steve has said that the quality went down, price went up, not good. That's what I have heard. So yeah. So again, guys, I appreciate the feedback on the whole Hobie situation, and we'll look at it next week too. I'm going to make a note, and we'll just kind of stay up on it. But Let's go ahead and jump into what I've got on the rundown here, which, I wanted to go over the couple of tournaments that happened this week. One was the Put 'em Back tournament, put on by Toadfish and Release Over 20. It was basically a big charity event to help sponsor a lot of the things that Toadfish is helping out with. And if you guys want to know what Toadfish is doing with their charity money, you can go over to toadfish.com and pull up all of the projects that they are involved in. And there's a ton on the East Coast. I think there's a couple in Texas. I'm trying to think of the map. I know there's one out in California, but it really has to do with oyster restoration, artificial reefs, putting oysters back because, I know you guys know you're all saltwater fishermen, how important the oysters are in our fisheries and water systems. They basically clean the water that we have. Toadfish has a lot of stats over there about how many gallons a day one little oyster can, filter through. And it's like, I can't remember, it's like 80 gallons of water one little oyster can filter and clean. All the stats are over there. It's extremely, interesting to read. So go over there and check that out. And of course, you guys know what Release Over 20 is all about. And they had a really good turnout. I can't remember how many anglers they had in it. It was over 100, maybe 120 guys in it. It was awesome. I was in it. I was only able to fish one day out of the entire week that the tournament was going on. So it started September 7th and it finished Saturday the 13th. And, I could only fish on Sunday the 7th. Excuse me. And I only recorded 2 small flounder. So the tournament was redfish category, trout category, flounder category, and a toadfish category. And then they had a slam category. And here's all of the winners. I wrote them all down. And so the redfish category, there was one caveat. You got the measuring board from them and you had to use their pink measuring board to measure your fish when you caught them. And the redfish could not be any bigger than the board, and the board was 30 inches. So the winner of the redfish series category was Tom Houston at 90 inches. So he caught 3 30-inch redfish. So congratulations to him. The trout division, one of our local guys, our local hammers, Stephen Trainer, he caught 64 inches worth of trout, and it's 3 fish. So I failed to mention that. It was 3 redfish, 3 trout, 3 flounder, and then the total lengths of those. So 64 inches of trout. And then the flounder winner was Alan Cowart, 64 and a half inches total. And then they had a slam category. So it was your redfish, trout, and flounder all put together. And the winner was Kenny Vansky. Kenny is here in Myrtle Beach. And Kenny, I know I just butchered your last name, but he had 95 inches. So he won the slam category. So congratulations to you, Kenny. And sorry about butchering your last name. I apologize for that. And then Dave Friedman caught a toadfish that was 13 and a half inches. That's a toad. That is a big O toadfish. So congratulations to all of you guys. And really it was, to benefit a really good cause with toadfish and Release Over 20. And hopefully they do it again next year and I can fish more than just one day. So it was nice to see the kayak guys take some of these categories. So, it just wasn't the boat guys, running around chasing the fish down, but, it was our kayak guys who brought home some cash and and beat out some of those boat guys. So good on you guys. There was also the Low Country Kayak Anglers had the Redfish Series stop number 4 down at Garris Landing on Sunday, which I participated in. I think there were 15 anglers, and Alex Carlos ended up winning that. He had, I want to say it was like 46 inches worth of fish, something like that. It was a 2 redfish series and 2 redfish limit. I'm sorry. And he ended up getting those 2 fish. It was a tough bite. I want to say, thinking back, and again, you guys who were there, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there was only like 5 people that caught fish, and Alex was the only one that caught 2 fish. So it was a tough bite. The wind came up late morning, and it was really starting to blow. The weatherman definitely got it wrong. He said it was going to be basically 5 to 10, really under 10 miles an hour is what I saw all week leading up. And it was over 10 miles an hour. I know it was about 10 or 11 o'clock. I came back across the intercoastal waterway. I was fishing some flats and started to hit some docks, and I met up with Heath, and we had talked about the wind. I mean, the wind was howling. I mean, there was white caps on the ICW. It was rolling pretty good. I couldn't hold position around those docks at all. It was brutal. I ended up leaving a little bit early. I got out of there 12:30-ish, something like that. Mentally, I was spent. I couldn't fish around those docks. The wind was up. I wasn't catching anything. The Cowboys were going to be on, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to salvage my day and go watch the Cowboys beat the Giants in overtime. So that it wasn't a total loss for me that day. But yeah, it was a tough day. And kudos to you guys who stuck it out, and kudos to Alex for winning. And I know Michael took 3rd. I can't remember who took 2nd place. Oh, Christian, I think, took 2nd place. So yeah, congrats to all you guys. Heath popped in here and said that, yeah, Alex had 46.5. So yeah, two good redfish. And I think he pretty much caught those maybe back to back or real close, kind of in the same area when it was high tide. Those redfish were pushed up into some grass. But just to kind of let you know what I ended up doing that morning, I fished right along the edge of the river, the intercoastal waterway. Starting out, there were some oyster bars right there, and I worked my way back onto a flat, and it was pretty much low tide when we started, 7 o'clock, something like that. And I started pushing back in there, and I was seeing some activity on the flat. So I was like, okay, I know it's going to get shallow. I went ahead and I pulled my drive, and I started to kind of drift and paddle back there. And I was seeing activity. I was seeing all kinds of shrimp popping. And when I see shrimp popping, I know there's got to be redfish in the area. And there were big shrimp back in there. I mean, I don't want to call them dinner plate size, but they were, you know, they weren't those 2-3 inch shrimp. They were big shrimp popping out of there. And I started pushing back in there, and it got so shallow that I was pushing mud, and I actually got stuck. Now I knew that the water was going to end up coming in, but there was basically a hump of mud that you know, pluff mud that I couldn't really get over. So I just kind of sat there. I made a few casts. I couldn't quite reach the area where these fish were in, but I know that they were there. So, you know, once the tide came in, I floated off. I went back in there. I made a couple of casts at some fish, didn't get them, obviously. And then they were just gone like a ghost. I mean, I don't know where they went, but they were gone. And the, you know, fish, those redfish, man, they are so stealthy. You can see them, and then bang, they just change zip code. So, that was my day. And so congrats to all those guys. And They still have the championship and maybe in a month or two. I'm not exactly sure when that is, maybe late October, November, something like that. So I qualified for that. If you fish 2 of the Redfish series, then you can qualify for the championship. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the championship. So really good tournament. So I know that we're we're already into the 20-minute mark, but so another thing that I wanted to kind of touch on was the weekend. I always do like a weekend report. I had one gentleman text me, and I can't exactly remember his name now off the top of my head, but he texted me, said that him and a buddy was coming down and wanted to know if he had a fishing report. And I said, well, you're going to have to watch DCO Live for the fishing report. So guys, I know this weekend is going to be halfway decent. I'm looking at, around Merle's Inlet right now, they're calling for Saturday, lowest 67 to 81. So that's really beautiful day. Winds out of the north 5 to 10. So I don't even know the last time I saw winds out of the south. It seems like the last month it's been winds out of the north, northeast. And, of course, that's what's bringing us our cooler weather and this change in the season. So, winds out of the north 5 to 10 looks really good. And Sunday even, looks like Saturday. It's basically going to be a carbon copy. And just to let you guys see this, here is the tide chart for Merle's Inlet for Saturday and Sunday. And you can see that it looks like it's going to be right at about low tide, right when the sun's coming up. So that 7:30 mark, 8:30 on Sunday. So, high tide is, what is that? 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. So I actually forgot to pull the tide chart for the Wando River like I usually do. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was, my mind was on the Hobie issue more than anything else. So, fishing all of the incoming tide this weekend, the tide chart down in Charleston isn't going to be much different. If you are fishing the Charleston area this weekend, it looks like temperatures 69 to 82 for Saturday and Sunday. The winds down in Charleston on Saturday are definitely going to be lower than the winds on Sunday. So Saturday, I'm seeing 2 miles an hour to 10. So really nice single-digit winds for Saturday. And Sunday, the winds are definitely picking up. I saw 10 to 20 and some possible showers in the afternoon. I want to say it was like 20%. Again, I'm trying to work my memory a little bit there, but about 20% down in Charleston. I really didn't see, any rain for the Merle's Inlet area or up around Myrtle Beach. So it should be a great day to get out and fish. So go out, hunt for these redfish right now. The shrimp are in, and I want to say that I can't remember, what shrimp we just had a hatch about a month ago. It may have been white shrimp that hatched about a month ago, but there's a ton of shrimp out there popping right now. The mullet are starting to run. The mullet are everywhere. So yeah, get out there, do some fishing, and and get on them. I have been throwing the Prawn Star and the 3-inch paddle tails, and that's kind of what I've been having some success with. So, except for the tournament, don't know why. So, usually the fishermen. But, again, guys, if you have any questions, throw them up in there. I know we're right at about the 25-minute mark, but that's kind of everything that I had on my kind of rundown this week. If you guys never caught my radio show there on the Outdoor Radio Network on iHeart, I recapped my fishing trip to the Wando. What was that? About 3 weeks ago, I did that. And then I recapped the topwater redfish action in Merle's Inlet a couple of weeks ago. So that was the radio show this week. And again, after Wednesday, I don't know when it airs. It's in all different kinds of time slots. So, just jump over there, turn on iHeartRadio, the Outdoor Radio Network, and just listen to all of the great shows over there. And eventually you'll run across me. So I'm usually popped on there, a little bit. So guys, that's pretty much all I have. We're going to keep it fairly short tonight. I say short, 26 minutes, but I do have a video dropping probably this weekend. I started editing today, and I got out, and so we're gonna let this one run, and let me know what you guys think. So, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Brown shrimp, yes, thank you, Steve. Bam. I knew Steve would be on it, and he'd chime in at some point. Brown shrimp, okay, perfect. So yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you. But yeah, guys, really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys have anything during the week, feel free to drop me any type of a message on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, or, if you guys have any questions or comments, just let me know. So guys, I appreciate you. I will see you next Thursday. And, guys, always remember, conservation starts with you. Release a fish for someone else to enjoy. You guys have a great weekend and tight lines.